Thanks for watching, guys. This is the Be Better Golf channel where I go around and interview different people and unique voices in the world of golf, and also I vlog my own progress to get better. That's what this is, vlogging my own progress as I'm trying to get better. So I've been doing this routine. Fridays are usually my Be Better Golf day. And I've been doing this routine where I've been practicing all morning, then having lunch, and then trying to play as much golf as I can in the afternoon. And usually I shoot 2 videos in one day. So this day I was working on, I had seen this video, I'll put a link in it in the comments section. I seen this video about the golf swing actually being always above your shoulder plane, and you just tilt your shoulders really vertically. So it's something that I had heard about on the downswing. On the backswing, I'd never heard anything about this on the through swing. So I was working on that a little bit, and then also on this device too, because Cameron Smith had just won on the tour, and I had seen something about how he uses, it's these stretchy bands, and you use that to keep like a lot of width in your swing. So it felt pretty cool. I'll probably do a full review of this later, but you're supposed to use the lighter band. So this was all before my round of golf, and then I got to go and actually play out on the course. This is at El Dorado Park Golf Course in Long Beach, California, home of the Long Beach Open. So I hope to get him out on the channel. There's this tour pro that has won the Long Beach Open a couple times, contacted me about maybe being on the channel. That would be very cool. All right, so that's 3 wood on this par 4, and I hit it down the right hand side. There's a hill there that then kicked it right into the fairway, so I'm in a good spot. A lot of rain recently, so this is before the first big rain, and this is after the first big rain and before the second one. So the course is in okay shape, pretty good for considering how much rain it has gotten. And it's not really a course that is designed to get a lot of rain because of where it is. A lot of times on Fridays I play by myself, and I will just get grouped up with whoever. There's a real interesting guy that they grouped me up with. This is Barry Greenstein, who is the 3-time World Series of Poker champion and like a very well-known professional poker player. I don't know that much about poker. I watch it quite a bit on ESPN and stuff like that, but it was really interesting playing with Barry because he's got an interesting philosophy about golf that goes with poker. Barry has played for, he was telling me, he's played for hundreds of thousands of dollars on the golf course in a single day. Barry was really gracious with his time and energy, so he let me ask him a couple questions about it. What is the key to performing well when you're playing for money on the golf course, do you think?
Well, you know, Lee Trevino said it best. He said, when they asked him if he chokes at golf, he said, yeah, I choke, but I look around me, those guys are choking worse than I am. So you're playing against someone, so don't get lost in that. Don't think, hey, you know, the pressure's getting me. Think, hey, the pressure's on them too. One of the things I think is really the key, though, for me in my practice rounds, I never give myself a putt that's not inside the leather. Like I don't ever take a 3 or 4 footer because I can miss those. And if I'm not going to putt those in practice, I'm going to miss them when I'm playing for money. And I want to be under pressure all the time. Like some people are afraid on the first tee, people are lining up and looking at them. I want as much pressure on myself in my practice rounds as possible. So get used to the pressure, and then you're probably going to be able to perform when it's for money and when it counts. But the people who have trouble are people who don't put any pressure on themselves, and the first time they face pressure is in a tournament or when they're playing for money, and then they choke, of course.
Right.
So get used to that.
All right, here's Barry. Barry, whenever he plays out here, he plays from the 3 steps forward of the furthest back spot he can get. So this is actually not even, I don't think, the tee box for the second hole. This is, I think, the tee box for the 9th hole. So it makes it a way different hole from back here. Probably it takes it back to now from like what I usually play this hole 380 or something. And now this is probably like 430 to 450, something like that. So it's a big difference. But he said he likes doing it that way because then if he's ever playing for something on the golf course, it feels a whole lot easier to him playing from the blue markers or whatever. It just feels like he's got an advantage. So hit an okay drive, not that great, to the left, and now I got oh, actually it wasn't, it just wasn't solid at all. I think it hit a tree. Fell down here, 185 yards in, 5-iron. Hit it solid, just blocked it out to the right. I've been shooting a lot of footage, but I haven't had much time to edit it all, so everything on the channel is a little mixed up as far as when it happened in time. So if you guys would have saw that lesson that I did via FaceTime with Tony, that happened just real recently, and this happened like 3 weeks ago or something. So maybe, no, like 2 weeks ago. So, all right, so going on to the par 5. From back here, it's like 520 yards, so not too long at all. And the drive felt good. You can definitely see like that video put that in my mind. That real steep shoulders on the way through, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I don't know if it's going to be a permanently sticky thing in my swing, but it was interesting. Playing with Barry was really interesting as far as like the stories he tells about a lot of people that you would have heard of, and just the amounts that happen in these stories is wild. Here's a cool clip from the internet I found.
Golf has not been fair. I own $185,000 from golf, but I keep that separate because whenever I was ahead, he'd make me give him a stroke and a half on the last hole.
No, that's not.
That is true. And when he's ahead, I don't get the same deal.
I'm very generous to you on the golf course, just like I am with everybody. When I go to the golf course, I just want to have a nice, fair game where whoever figures it out, that's who wins.
Okay, but we are about to sit.
Well, I can't get
It's hard to believe, but we're about to play some friendly, possibly 10,000 a point Chinese poker, and it's friendly. When we play, it's always friendly.
I don't think I want to play that high.
No, of course not. You're
right now. By the end of playing right, it might be a little different.
Yeah, that was Phil Ivey, who is I don't know, I think the most famous poker player in the world. I'm not sure. Those guys, I think they used to like run in the same circle a lot. That was definitely my best shot of the day. 3-wood that went a kind of a medium, a little bit lower than normal trajectory draw, and I hit it really well. It felt great. We're just kind of jumping around today. Going on to the next hole, Barry has a really interesting history with golf, and you can see, even in his swing today, he's got a real athletic move, and he told me that Tommy Armour had said to him back when Barry was 50, I don't know how old Barry is now, that pound for pound he was one of the longest 50-year-olds. Then Barry was playing a ton of golf at the time, and hasn't played a lot of golf at all until recently. He's played a little bit. But Barry had been as low as a +3 handicap, he said, in high school and college, and had a falling out with the college golf coach, so he didn't really play in college. But he said even with all the, and that was a good drive by me, he said even with all the hundreds of thousands of dollars that he's played for in certain days on the golf course, the most pressure he ever felt was coming down the stretch when he was about to win this local tournament where he's from. And he was thinking about they were going to put his name in the paper. And that was the only time he ever kind of felt the feeling of choking. Hit a good kind of a hold off, but a very solid pitching wedge there. The greens are so soft today that was a little low, but it was spinning pretty good. But it hit the green and absolutely stopped, and pretty close to the flag. So that was good. Barry out of the bunker. Yeah, just lost his footing there a little bit. So I have this left for my birdie. So I've been really happy recently, for the most part, with my putting. Go to, if you guys have seen the Be Better Golf putting system with Timmy Overton, I've been every night real consistently on the disc pillows doing 5 minutes, and see how stable, even if you watch that, the lower body is. And that's really for those, certainly for the makeable putts, a big key to that putting system is getting your lower body really stable. So this is a par 4. This is maybe one of the top 4 hardest holes on the course, but it's definitely, if you look in the Long Beach Open or when I've played in the club championship here and stuff like that, the hole that can get people to make the biggest numbers, this would be way up there. That was a really good swing there, but because there's really thick trees and rough over to the right side, you can make a big number here if you flare one out to the right. So we're playing today even beyond where they play the Long Beach Open from. You'll see there's a couple tee boxes that are kind of dormant or unused tee boxes that Barry still plays on. So, but it does make it fun. And you know, if you're playing well, you're playing well. It doesn't really matter too much what tee you're playing from. And if you're playing good, you know you're playing good. It doesn't affect it too much. All right, I have 9 iron, and impact was just not totally awesome, but 9 iron was kind of a big club, so it turned out to be not too bad, just because the club selection was okay. I was just short of the green, and I had a choice to make about whether or not I was going to chip it or putt it. And normally I always putt everything that I can putt, but I'm trying to hit these shots more often chipping, because it's better practice for when I might have to do it in the future. So this is one of those dormant tee boxes that I don't think has been really in any kind of regular use in years. The trees have grown to a point where it really wouldn't be used. Like, this is not even used in the Long Beach Open. So even in the Long Beach Open, where they tee off from is probably 50 or 60 yards from where this is. So it's a pretty interesting angle. It's actually not that, it makes the hole a whole lot different from here. You do absolutely have to hit a certain shape. Like, if you hit it straight, you'll be way in the left rough. So you have to hit a fade. So here's Barry. Barry pops it up a little bit into the right trees. And one of the hardest things, as Barry said, always on this tee box, is just finding a good spot to tee it up. So it felt good because I usually hit a draw with the driver, and it actually felt good to be on a tee box that was going to force me to hit a fade. Kind of took the decision out of my hands and say, okay, well, you have to hit a fade here. And I hit it really nicely down the middle. All right, so let's go back to Barry and have another question I think you guys will find interesting that Barry answered for us.
You think about money differently than I do. As a professional, that's probably the thing you were telling me that's made you able to have a career in gambling.
Well, one difference that you get used to as a poker player and playing golf for money is if I'm playing someone for $1 Nassau, it should be almost the same pressure as I'm playing for $1,000 Nassau. I'm trying to perform. And I think part of the thing is maybe I don't look at money the way most people do. It doesn't mean as much to me, so I can gamble for it. But the other thing is what I was saying initially, because even in my practice rounds, I'm trying to perform. I'm trying to put the pressure on myself. I'm trying to hit even out of bad lies and all this type of stuff, maximum pressure. That the money pressure doesn't seem to add anything more. It's just playing under pressure, and you just get used to that. You just, like say, try to always be under pressure as much as you can, even in your, like we're playing today. We're playing for the back tees. We're not going to score as well because of that. I want to make it so it's as tough as possible all the time for myself.
Interesting points. Let me know what you guys do to help yourself play better under pressure. in the comments below. Here's Barry's swing, and you can see there's a lot of really good stuff there. And when he hits it well, he's got just awesome balance, just like that. And that was a really good shot. And so he told me that balance has been a real key thing for him to keep working on as he's continued playing. All right, so that was a good drive off the tee. And usually, if you can see that second bunker, the one on the right there, that's usually, if I hit a good drive, I'll be up level with that bunker with 200 yards into this par 5 green. Now from where that tee box was, I'm like 260 yards in or something. So hit not a good hybrid into this fairway bunker here. So I forget the yard. I think I have 75 yards to the hole. Good impact. It went just a little bit far, but the soft greens from all the rain helped me a little bit, and I stayed on the back fringe. So I've got a little bit of a repair area to putt through. Headed downhill with the so I would call that putting from the fringe, basically. Which I really love to putt from the fringe. Oh, and it actually went back online. All right, so that's that's a very good birdie there. Especially from that yardage. That's the first time I've ever played this hole from that tee box, and to get in 4 shots there, that was something special. That was cool. So now this is extremely difficult. So you'll see that window straight ahead. So this is a really hard par 4. Normally. So now we're back another, I don't know, 60 or 70 yards further back. And I'm actually gonna try to hit over those trees, but I hit a low ball, so I don't know why I tried to do that. I should have just tried to get it through that window, which is incredibly narrow. See, it's not built for that. It's not built to be used, this tee box, anymore at all. So, but Barry, whenever he does play with people and gets them on this tee box, he says it's a big advantage for him because he's played it before. So tell you what, it's pretty uncomfortable hitting into it. So I hit a solid drive high, but not nearly high enough, into that tree, and it fell down. It's a mess. So here's Barry as I'm trying to block the sun.
Oh, that's so good.
It's just perfectly through the tree with a little draw. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you would like to see, I want to try to get Barry back out and have us both mic'd up and just hear some stories and stuff like that. If you'd like to see that, put it in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button as well, because that really helps the channel and helps us grow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.